morning to you once again.
Anne, thank you very much indeed, and very good morning to you if you've just joined us. Welcome to the program. And as Leanne says, the scene of the latest in the series of New Age business briefings brought to you by the SABC and today sponsored by JIC Mining Services. Well, we're at Turfentine Racecourse, and the reason for that is we needed a venue that we could fit something in the order of about 900 learners and 500 guests as well. So there's a huge number of people here, and they've all got one thing in common: they're interested in education. And in fact, the 900 learners that you're going to be seeing at various times during the course of this broadcast are students that have just finished matric, and we've been celebrating their achievements, and they've been the top achievers in their schools, particularly non-fee-paying schools, and they're all about to embark on tertiary education at various tertiary institutions, and they're all going to be getting a bursary, and we're going to find out what that bursary is about, how this bursary scheme came into being, and also we'll get a sense from past bursary winners who've finishing their studies, just how much it's helped them and changed their lives as well. So education sharply in focus. We've got the Premier, we've got the MEC that will be helping us with that conversation, and we want you at home to be part of that conversation as well. Hashtag TNA BizBrief, as well as Morning Live SABC, at Morning Live SABC. What do you think about Gauteng education? And you may be sitting in the Eastern Cape or the Free State and thinking, has this got anything to do with me? Well, it certainly has. I think all of us, all our provinces can learn from each other. So this is a conversation I think that you want to be having. All right, so to take us through this first part, it's my great pleasure now to welcome the Premier of Gauteng Province, Ms. Nomvula Mokonyane, to join us on stage and tell us about this story of education in Gauteng.
Sorry. Thank you very much, Peter, and may I take this opportunity to recognize our MEC Barbara Creece, responsible for education in the province, our partners from the New Age and NN7, represented by Mr. Mosin, the representatives of JIC, who are also the sponsors for today's program, the leadership of the SABC, our dear learners, the class of 2013, residents of Gauteng, management of the Department of Education, fellow South Africans, a very good morning. When we made a commitment as the Gauteng provincial government that the education of the African child can no longer be negotiated or postponed, we really meant business. In 2009, when we started our term of office, together with the Executive Council of the Gauteng provincial government, we looked at how best we can make this clarion call that was made by His Excellency President Jacob Zuma to make education everybody's business. And in it, one of the things that we raised as we interacted with MEC Barbara Creece was that in as much as we are going to ensure that those who didn't have access to basic education are accommodated through our no-fee schools, what happens upon completing grade 12? And it is precisely out of that discussion and interaction that the Gauteng provincial government, since its inception in 2009, we saw through the Gauteng City Region Academy the establishment of the bursary scheme, a bursary scheme that up to date has been of assistance, and may I dare say, one of its own in the Republic of South Africa, has been of assistance to 12,401 young people from no-fee paying schools in Gauteng in a bid to improve their future. Some of the beneficiaries of this program have gone on to become town planners, lawyers, engineers, thus becoming active participants in building the country's economy. As we have all made a commitment to ensure that education is everybody's business, we did not only look at the development of the learner, the capacitation of the educator, but we also invested in developing this bursary scheme of the Gauteng provincial government. And here today, we are here to witness again a success story out of our 20 years of democracy, where from 2009, as I've said, 12,401 learners have been beneficiaries. To date, 6,000 have completed. And just for 2013 matric examinations, we had 96,000 learners who wrote their matric examinations. And out of that 96,000, 87,000 passed. And some of them are here with us this morning. And out of this 87,000 that have passed, we have 38,000, a whooping 38,000 that got a bachelor's pass here in Gauteng. And we also had a 33,000 of our learners who got a diploma pass. We went further and ensured that we invest on empowering the girl learner. And we can proudly say, out of those who have done well, 62% of them are girl learners. The future of the African girl child, indeed, is becoming better, and there is hope for all of them. What has also happened in this program is that we have agreed, together with our Department of Education and all other departments, that will crowd in all the resources that have to do with bursary schemes in the province, and through the stewardship of the MEC for Education under the Gauteng City Region Academy, will have this particular bursary scheme. But we have not only looked at the matric examinations, we've also invested in many other things that have made the education of a learner in Gauteng much more conducive and the environment much more habitable. We've built a number of schools as the province, and just a few weeks when schools were opened, we opened a whooping 17 schools that were built out of our own resources, the best state-of-the-art schools, because indeed we want to close the gap between private schools and public schools. And through the performance of our learners, we've also come to realize that the gap has also come much more closer between the performance of our learners in the public schools against those that are in the private schools. And indeed, what we have seen is that many of those who have made an attempt to go to private schools are beginning to come back to our public schools. We invested, having learned from the last general strike, the crisis that we faced, we invested on what we call the Senior Secondary Improvement Program, where we put extra support, extra care to our learners starting from grade 9. And that on its own has also helped even those learners who were faced with the difficulty in Bekesdal. And to their parents and to them, we also say bravo, well done. Because learners of Bekesdal, their parents and the community, albeit the tensions that were there, appreciated that education is everybody's business, and they've done us proud. And some of them are going to be beneficiaries of this magnificent project that the Gauteng provincial government is doing. The other area that we are looking at is that many of our learners who are beneficiaries of this scheme are coming from families that cannot provide a meal. And as a province, we can say we pride ourselves of the fact that we provide nutrition to a total of 1.1 million learners every day, so that then the kids can be able to perform and be productive and not be worried about an empty stomach. We've taken care of absenteeism of a girl learner. And through that, what we have done as a province, we've also looked at some of the factors that lead to absenteeism of the girl learner. And amongst them are things that have got nothing to do with the individual, but about just the biological being of being a girl. We provide dignity packs to our girl learners, and a girl who comes from a well-off family and a girl who comes from a child-headed family has got sanitary wear, has got deodorant, has got a moisturizer, and she can look better and even be much more productive and confident amongst her peers. And that's why a whooping 62% of those who have performed are girl learners, because, again, the emancipation of women starts with the empowerment of a girl child. We went further as a province to ensure that we develop what we call the Master Skills Plan. The Gauteng provincial government is in the process of developing the Master Skills Plan that provides the province with a sustainable pool of economically relevant skills. And may I dare say, what we are witnessing here today is a demonstration that we can't continue to have an excuse that there are no skills and there is no pool that we can be able to harvest the necessary qualifications and skills to grow our economy. We call on business and we salute the new age that we have responded so quick. You heard us, you responded timelessly. We call on individuals to plow back, invest on the African child. We call on men who call themselves sugar daddies. Don't do it on my child, plow it on my child so that she can be a better girl. We call on the private sector to also not use the excuse, but to invest and be ready to absorb, because here is the capacity, but provide them with the necessary support so that they can come back and make South Africa a better place, grow our economy, fight unemployment, and deal with issues of inequality. The last thing that I want to also raise is that we have worked together with the Department of Higher Education in making sure that we turn around the attitude and perceptions around on further education and training. And just a few weeks ago, in December, we had more than 3,000 of our own youngsters from Gauteng who were again provided with funds by this Gauteng provincial government in promoting skills development and making sure that we've got a working youth, and they have been absorbed in our FETs, and many of them have already been attached to businesses, others have been attached to government departments, because the future of this country can be shaped through those who embrace and honor the value of education. In conclusion, I want to commend the Gauteng provincial government, our team, the entire collective, our dear learners. You have made us quite proud. It is up to you to make sure that you don't drop out, you don't fail, because our commitment is that we fund you for the duration of the course that you are involved in. And we know you will not fail us. You've sacrificed. The future is bright. Show them. We may not have been number one. We're happy that the Free State and the Northwest have done it well, but we're proud. We have delivered 38,000 bachelor's pass. We have delivered 33,000 diploma passes, and indeed, Gauteng is now a better place to live in, and it's a better place for the future of the education of the African child. We've got a story to tell. I thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. All right, so those are just some of the opening thoughts from the Premier, and in a short while I'm going to be asking MEC Barbara Creece to join us on stage, and then we're going to do a little bit of a ceremony where we're going to recognize, I think, 2 students, but they represent the more than 1,200 students that are here that are going to be getting bursaries. All of that is happening after this break, so please stay with us for that, and stay with us for the conversation that follows as well.